and thank you for this wonderful opportunity to present here at the Global Social Entrepreneurship Competition and represent a place which is extremely hungry. Welcome to Bangladesh, ladies and gentlemen, home of Dr. Muhammad Yunus, home to also of about 155 million others, with an unemployed number of 50 million and another 65 million who are malnourished. Which brings us to two burning issues in this country: the rising unemployment and underemployment rates in the country, and also the rising protein deficiency, one of the leading causes of malnutrition in Bangladesh. One of the facts in the rural context is the bread earner, the average bread earner has 7 hungry individuals to feed in his own household. In extreme cases, such as the case of Hashim Mia in Fulbaria, he has to provide for 14 individuals alone. More astonishingly, these families have about $3 of earnings per day, leaving about 50 cents, a miserly income, for that per head per day. The situation isn't that good in the urban areas as well. In the hearts of the cities, in the slums, from our research, we found out that in Kamalapur and Farmgate slums of Dhaka city, over 90% of the women and children have high protein deficiency. And also, in these markets, we've estimated there's about 67 tons of demand to supply deficiency in terms of protein mass.
So, how can we help these people? By not mass production, but production for and by the masses. And thus, Sagol is born. What does Sagol do for the people? First of all, it provides entrepreneurial development in the region of Fulbaria. Secondly, it gives the urban slum dwellers a cheap source of protein. And finally, throughout the whole process, it imparts education and training to the people. The product Sagol meat jerky takes 3 days to prepare with 5 different spices which are widely available in Bangladesh, and throughout the whole process our territory officers will ensure that it is made in a highly quality controlled manner. The product itself has 4 distinct advantages. First of all, it's highly culturally desirable, it's a traditional food. Secondly, our salespeople are the urban female referent leaders who will have a high word of mouth power. Thirdly, the price of the meat is much lower than the market price, ensuring that the people will be able to buy it. And finally, it's a highly hygienic source of protein. And why is that? Because mutton is better than all chicken, fish, beef and pulses, which are the most common sources of protein in our country. The target region of Fulbaria and Farmgate are 15 kilometers apart, and we will leverage this by using our own distribution network, courtesy of our business partner, Mr. Turja. This is the life cycle of a goat, from the moment it reaches our Black Bengal Meat Company to the hands of the urban slum dwellers. So let me walk you through the whole process, exactly how we intend to run this model. First of all, our company will purchase the goats locally. Then, we'll give these goats to the rural villagers of Fulbaria, where they will be able to raise and breed the goats and consume the milk in the process. After the goats have matured, we will sell them to the urban slum dwellers of Farmgate and Kamalapur, and the profits will be shared by the company and the villagers.
So how does this benefit the villagers themselves? As producers, not only do they get free training and education on how to raise livestock, but they also get sustainable amount of salaries when they raise the goat, and also they have the option of selling the milk, which they have complete ownership of in time of raising the kid of the pregnant doe. Thus, here we have skill development, which enables them to utilize the money and invest in new goat on their own initiative, and we will help as a distributor to market their products for them. In essence, we are creating entrepreneurs out of entrepreneurship, and this is a great point for Fulbaria. And you see, our territory officers will be khatibs of local mosques, and these khatibs are very evenly distributed because of the location of the geographic location of the mosques themselves. You see, these producers, these khatibs, have a great potential to become large-scale producers for sago itself. And thus, we encourage them to raise their own territorial and establish their own territorial people in terms of being able to raise their own goat and become self-sufficient and self-dependent. So how does this improve the scenario? Not only does it increase the amount of people who are earning, but it increases the per head income of the people who are earning, thus in reducing the unemployment and underemployment problem in two folds. Secondly, the human resource development aspect is significantly superior to simple employment because the people are becoming self-dependent and have an essence of what it is like to run their own business. So what does sago do? In essence, it produces high-quality hygienic meat which traditionally addresses the problem of protein deficiency in the urban slums. Secondly, it encourages entrepreneurship, which addresses directly the issue of underemployment and unemployment in the villages. It also trains and educates people, which addresses the issue of human resource underdevelopment. And finally, it eliminates middlemen. This point is extremely important because in Bangladesh, the price of products raised to up to 150% due to overpricing of the middlemen. And we can eliminate this because we have the ownership of the strongest distribution channel from Mymensingh to Dhaka city. Thus we can leverage that in order to eliminate the middlemen. Here is what we've already done. Basically, I, being a youth community leader of an Islamic group in Fulbaria, have access to the local khatibs and have very good ties with them. I've set up a network in which they've communicated with the rural families and have contacted and started raising goats. Here, we've also trained some of our khatibs to learn how to do things hygienically, how to slaughter the goat in the halal manner and also to process the meat in a halal manner in a hygienic way. We've also product tested our product by making a sample of it in a small scale. We own the distribution channel. And finally, we have also organized a sales team and sales points in which we've communicated strongly through our team leader, Mohibul Islam Priyo. Here's Mohibul Islam Priyo. He has got over 5 years of experience in working with, on voluntary basis with the World Economic Forum and JICA. And he's got good access to people in the BOP, in the urban slums, and has a strong network with the rural and urban referent leaders, especially women. And I have a strong connection with the khatibs in my community. Here's how Mahbubur Rahman Tujo contributes to the business. His family owns the strongest distribution network from Mymensingh to Dhaka. Fulbaria is one of the midways, falls in the midway from his distribution channel, and thus giving us a strong leverage over middlemen. Lastly, Saif Ahmed is an investment banker at HSBC Bank and has experience in working with BOP development projects and financials. You see, we've effectively addressed the problems of unemployment and protein deficiency. This is how.
Throughout the whole process, we have consulted with 3 leading people in our country. First of all, Dr. Muzammal Haq, who is the chairman of Grameen Bank. Then, Mr. Bidut Kumar Saha, who helped us audit the financial statements of the company. And finally, Mr. Mosharraf Hussain Uddin Bhuiya, who is a professor of veterinary science. These are our financial visibility. A $40 goat creates products worth $120 in 3 different ways. The skin, the meat jerkies, and the milk. And based on the pro forma financial statements, we can see that we will break even within 2.5 years. And we have a profitability index of 13 and an IRR of 20%. Now, the social benefit. We create social value in 3 ways. The milk, the low-cost meat jerky, and the salaries that we provide to the people adds up and gives us a social return on investment of 8. 8 times, that is $1 gives $8 worth of social benefits. So why will sago succeed? Because it's local. We are local, the need is local, the resources are local. And we can implement this because it's such a small scale project and we have our own distribution network. And finally, it's a traditional product which has high cultural acceptability. So what do we need to make sago a success? $26,000 only. And that's it. We have all the other resources required. Thank you for your time.